Welcome to Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at, well, what's the best way to play Super Mario Brothers legitimately on the go? Now, I know that if you are one of those people who's like, oh, I've got a Raspberry Pi or some other type of edited thing, yeah, those are pretty good. Emulation's interesting, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about legitimate ways to play Super Mario Brothers, the first one, on the go. Now, we're going to look at the 4 different options, and we're just going to go with, the ultimate version of it, essentially, and we're going to discuss a couple pros and cons and decide. Okay, so, our contenders are the Game Boy Advance. We didn't put in a normal Game Boy Advance in here because I'm like, you know what? I think if I'm going to show this off, I'd rather show it off with the 2 best versions of the Game Boy Advance. The official Game Boy Advance SP 10101 and a Game Boy Micro. And then, of course, a Nintendo Switch Lite. You can do this with a normal Nintendo Switch, but we decided to use the Nintendo Switch Lite in this. And for this one, we're using a Nintendo 2DS XL because we feel this is the best version of the 3DS. And so, to be perfectly honest, though, we're going to go over all these and kind of decide. The ones that are in here, we've got the classic NES Super Mario Brothers. And of course, in this one, we have the classic NES Super Mario Brothers 2, just for that. So, we're going to go over the best ways and worst ways to play these. We're going to go over how you can play Super Mario Brothers on it, and, well, why it's good or not. And then we're going to rank them. So, let's start off with the Game Boy Advance. You can buy an older Game Boy Advance and modify it, or you can buy the Game Boy Advance SP and the Game Boy Micro. Both of which, but you also have to find like Super Mario Brothers 2 or Lost Levels in Super Mario Brothers, because they kept, okay, so Super Mario Brothers 2 import will set you about anywhere from $20 to $40. Super Mario Brothers, the NES Classic one, will set you anywhere from $20 to $30. And a Game Boy Advance SP, even the 101s, go anywhere from $50 to $100. $100 to $150, maybe even $200 for certain ones. But yeah, the thing to know though is that Super Mario Brothers on the Game Boy Advance and on the on the Game Boy Advance is actually kind of squashed. Super Mario Brothers is one of those games where I've played it on practically everything. I played it on the NES. There's different versions of it on the NES. There's actually like 3 or so releases of it on the NES. There's the single standalone Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt and World Track or Track and Meet or something like that, Track and Field, one of those, little power pad thing. And then of course, Super Mario's and Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt all together. It was released on the Super Nintendo as part of Super Mario All-Stars, and then released on the Virtual Console. It had a Game Boy Color version called Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, but we're kind of not counting that, but that is available on the Nintendo 3DS family of systems through the eShop. Now, it was released, of course, on Wii Virtual Console and Virtual Console for the Wii U and Virtual Console for the 3DS. The version that we're playing here on the 2DS XL is the Virtual Console from the 3DS, of course. Now, this one has save states and stuff, not a lot of little features. The one for the Game Boy Advance has no other features, like not even like so much as game saves or whatnot. Whereas this one has the ability to create a restore point and go back to it. You can also reset and stuff like that. It's interesting stuff. There is some movement blur in it, which is kind of sad. But this will set you back anywhere from about $150 to $400, $500 for some of the special editions. But let's pretend like, okay, so the game itself like would cost you about maybe $5 on the eShop. I don't remember if it's $5 or $8, but probably $5. So all of these are some kind of pricey options. Now this is a Nintendo Switch Lite. In order to use it on the Nintendo Switch Lite, you have to have an internet connection for it, and you need to be you have to have the Nintendo Switch Online service where they have it available on as its own little, inside there. They've got Super Mario Brothers, Lost Levels, etc., etc. That's another way, but you need to be connected to the internet so that it can verify that you can play it, and you have to have a functioning Nintendo Switch Online service. It's free other than that. So, looking at these options, you have, let's see, each of these will still set you back over $100-something. Now, the Game & Watch that's currently out, Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch, that gets you Super Mario Brothers 2, and a version of Ball for, well, pretty darn cheap. This is like, what, $50 right now? Not too bad. Anywho, what you're going to want, like with this one here, well, actually when you beat it too, you can choose whether you want normal or hard difficulty, and you can also skip levels with B, or you can hold down the A button when you're selecting it, and it will give you infinite. Oh, it doesn't give you infinite lives at that point. Oh well. Oh well, playing this in hard then. Oh. Yeah, let's go. Let's actually do a game over on this. I'm trying to lose. But yeah, looking at the way these screens are, put that over there, and then of course Super Mario Bros. 2. Let's pop this to time, and let's turn it off. It's a watch, but it also, by the way, does not have an alarm. So, we've gone over the different ways. This will set you back like 50. Buying any of these will probably set you somewhere back between like 120 to 100 and to almost $200 for some of it. This will definitely set you back about $200, 150 to $200, and then like the game itself. So something in $5 and $200. I think one of these 200, 300. Yeah, these are 200. And then like the service is 20 a year, so about 220. But yeah, those are all your options. The cheapest way to play the game is on the new Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers. The most expensive way to play the game is on, well, the Nintendo Switch, or depending on the type that you get, the Nintendo 2DS or 3DS or whatever. All of them, like the 3DS, 3DS XL, Nintendo 2DS, Nintendo 2DS XL, Nintendo 3DS XL, new Nintendo 3DS, new Nintendo 3DS XL. There's so many different things. I'll set you back about 100 or so too. So, like I said, best way to play it though is weirdly enough not on the Game Boy Advance because it's squished, not on the Nintendo 3DS systems because there's some weird lag in the screen. You want the sharpest screen possible, so the best ways to play this game are actually on the Nintendo Switch or as this little standalone product. Now, so I actually do not recommend that you play it on the Game Boy Advance. While it's functional and fine, it's not that good. It's squished a little bit. And it blurs. There's a little bit of motion blur on some of the 3DS screens. Some 3DS versions have motion blur in this game for some weird reason. And you only have save states. You have save states and rewinds on the Nintendo Switch Online. Only downside is you have to check in about every week on your Nintendo Switch Online service. It does that automatically when you turn it on, so, if you're connected to the internet, you're fine. If not, you may need to turn on the airport mode. But yeah, if you want to play it like pick up and go, this is actually your best bet right here. So yeah, Super Mario Brothers is a great game. Played it so many different ways, so many different times. It's been on practically every Nintendo system. Except for N64. there was never any kind of official re-release of Super Mario Brothers on the N64. The Game Boy Color got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. Game Boy Advance got Super Mario Brothers. It was on the original NES, of course. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The only ways to play it legitimately portable, and the ways that I actually recommend people do are, well, I recommend they just go out and flat out buy this one, or a Switch Lite, or a Switch Pro, or just a normal Switch. I'm using the Switch Lite instead of the normal Switch because, well, that's docked over there, and I have it doing another thing. Anywho, so I've got my suggestions if you want to play Super Mario Brothers, and if you haven't beaten it before, you really should. I actually recommend going for the Game & Watch. You don't have the rewind feature or save states that the Nintendo Switch has, but you do have an infinite lives code and an easier to understand. Well, the infinite lives code is like when you're selecting something from that main menu on Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. Hold the A button down till you get to it. If you're holding it down correctly, you'll hear a little 1-up sound, and then you have infinite lives to beat the game, which is pretty cool. And you can do the level select up to any level that you've already beaten, as long as you've seen it by tapping the B button on the title screen. So, yeah, I recommend if you are going to play Super Mario Brothers, get this. This is legit cool. It's actually quite good, quite visible. No weird blur like on the 3DS. No squished pixels like on the Game Boy Advance, and no pay service like the Nintendo Switch. So, best, better, gooder? It's okay. So, if you're looking to play some Super Mario Bros., and I know you are, you want to go ahead and pick this one up. So, let me know in the comments below what you think. Which one is your preferred way to play Super Mario Brothers? And don't say, on the TV, because, well, yeah, duh. But on the go, these are your options to legitimately play it. So, let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, that share button, that subscribe button. Subscribe and then share with your friends. It's a cool thing to do and you should like it. Anyways, yeah, let me know what's going on below in the comments. And until next video comes out, you are now caught up.
Morning, Maya.